did not know. All right, thanks.
World champs for how many years?
11. Wow.
This is Brandon, this is Llewellyn.
Right here. I just have an outlet there. No, you're fine. You're absolutely fine. I was kind of gonna slide in there. No, there's one right down there. Yeah, I just need to kind of slide in here. And then I need to actually like fit in here. I'm so sorry. Can I just move your chair just like up? There we go. Thank you.
Stand up.
No, you're
For the elders.
John Lighthouse, good to see you. We've been like batting back and forth for ages. We gotta get together. How do we arrange this? Yeah, you know this is we play bells in the choir.
So we're going to bring out what we have, but we'd like to ask if you do not need a chair, that you save for someone that might need a chair. But otherwise, I'll bring out as many as we have to make everybody comfortable, okay?
Let me help. Can I help?
I better go into that.
Well, Bradley, most of them are then a couple of boys came from Sugar Pond, and so they were invited by Darrell to sit in this.
This is the master ceremony.
The fellow who's been doing it, his name is Darrell. And he has he teaches kids. And so he used to come to Greenland for about 10, 12 years. And he taught some of these kids when they were just little how to sing and play. Oh, yeah, so they're primarily
I was working again and I made it several years and then Dean had me when they opened one of the schools.
The girls didn't come? No? Oh, okay.
They had relatives that lived.
I'm just having some technological issues.
They had a meeting
Usually stories run about 2 minutes to so the whole thing. That's a way to get somebody's attention.
Oh, come with us. Nendo way magana, gakawe ni wa ni mo na go gi. Je way an way go yak I mini guzi an je way me oja. Gi kedo ge ezia men mo ya me oja ko gi pat ma the way and way win. Mi da shwo e wa win mo na go. Escola she condition the cause magazine do them. Me with the washing gi when the can easy on getting. When go opposite can I go and the Caucasian or Hakuna Asian comic at the Niguma being it. Me does go oh. As you have to away, mini goes young and way when mail shop. No, we walk in the morning number, we went there, pig in a while. Chipis and Dummy go away, Asian Dash and Daman. Shabana Shimoya, Nagach. Me and ma just sit up Tommy go away and way on, way up to Guna, Asian Apuna Gang, any. Me walk in the morning, I look. Need your Anishinaabe dog? Or skin in the oil, street well. Me does go. Asia Chilean boy, Bungi, Goyakaguna, Jig White Cookdunium, Kinagago. Jig Kandamoa on and Chimukumana Maya. Why when I go, Asia Bimusayam. Why when I go, Asia Yabri Tomo, if it is torn and on and give me Guzio. Me away, Goyak, while we the moon and I look Nagach. Jishabanashima Tower in a book. Me Dashu was saw, Koe. Mongoy, Ma beat the gay, sit up the bed, and way on getting in. Nevi could wait him in a book, Sago, when age we do cook egg. Bungi, Jane Kiddy egg, Yaginoa, Giabdi 2 egg, get the same Mawana. Giabdi 2 egg, Yaginoa. Me Dashu oh. Without mentioning Ma. On in the Kazia, Mintamoya, get away Magana, keep him a say what the mom is. Why when he is chilly or dog, he ate my what way, look. Me I go up while we the moon in the book. Giabri 2 egg away, Nagaman, me go away in the poison. Be again one, Jermaine the Meg. Way up to go on in the Kazia, Gina on the way what? Mintamoya, Giabri 2 oh. Jimino, I am Jimino Bonzio. Me way up while we the moon and I go Minnequa and Wayana way up. Jigga came to me, Guna, Ginoa, and Wayama Mom. As you Anishinaabe will. Me away Minnequa, we the moon and I go. I hope, me good. I was just with the lady here who is doing a little part of the camera with this little piece that we're doing about powwow and dancing. She's going to share some of this on the Channel 5 today. So
actually it'll be on Friday.
Friday, then whenever.
Friday's
yeah.
there.
But what I wanted to actually do was, you know, there's very few people who go on our TV channels to speak the language. And just to show these people that, you know, the non-natives that we are still here. We are amongst you. And again, you know, in this educational piece of what we do is speakers, presenters, consultants. We have this package for each and every one of you to see and to see our identity as who we are as Anishinaabe people. And again, it would be an honor, it would be awesome for a lot of the people here in this community of Bemidji and these surrounding communities to get to know us as Anishinaabe people, to get to know us as Ojibwe people, because I'm speaking to you in your language and one you understand. A little bit ago, I didn't care.
Oh, yeah, I'm kidding.
But anyways, I was showing that we still got it. We still got our language, we still got our song, we still got it in that traditional manner of who we are as Anishinaabe people. And those are the kind of things I wanted to talk about and share with each and every one of you. Because, you know, a lot of times when I go places, I run into my respectful elders like this. And a lot of times, when we do these things, such as younger people, our elders, they watch us. He just said to me, no, Ojibwe, don't be lying out there. See? I've been watched over. So I gotta watch how I speak and walk in front of my elders, because we have that mentality of, you know what, we take care of each other. You're sharing what we have by that. So that's why I brought up the language first, out of respect. We, as Anishinaabe people, we speak our first language, the language we were given, and we call it in Wewin. We were given this sound. You know, it's not, we don't call it a language, we call it a sound. That's what they gave us to sound like. And again, that's what I was sharing in the Ojibwe that I was speaking here, in Anishinaabe, when I was speaking, I was letting all our elders know that this is my protocol of, due to respect of all the elders that are here, I'll use my first language like that. And that's how we are to respect our elders. And again, you know, we're at that way of, with our 7 teachings, be truthful, love each other, use the humility, learn it, be honest. Those are the teachings, those are the bylaws of who we are as Anishinaabe people. You know? And again, when we do these things, we want to share as much as we can about all these things that go on, such as what I was more or less brought to was the powwow protocol. And when we do these powwow protocols, we can, you know, share a lot of things that we do at powwows. And I don't know, like I said, I was telling the lady, I don't know how the word powwow came about, but a lot of it has been misinterpreted. It's being misinterpreted because, you know, we got where a lot of people saying, you know what, we hear a drum over there, and if they were non-native, they're saying, well, they must be preparing for war. There must be having a war dance going on. That's not even close. We're celebrating. We're celebrating life. And each and every time this drum is pounded, it pushes out what we call good life. Niimi'idiwan. So each and every day that we wake up, we thank the sun. Which song? If you have your morning songs, a lot of drum and song go together. A lot of ways in our way of being up as Anishinaabe, being up with our spiritualities, we got to use these sacred ways of being, even though we don't talk about it, we got them up here. That's why my boys are sitting here. Sons, relatives. I'm their teacher. So they're going to be doing the same thing I'm doing someday. Getting up in the morning, saying miigwech to the sun, saying miigwech to the moon. So those are the things we do. But when it comes to powwow, the first thing we do is we respect everybody. And we share our pipe. And with these pipes that we share with, we go to the 4 directions. Because it's just not that one spirituality of all us that we look at. We look at all our spiritualities out there, and we thank them. Miigwech, big thank you for giving us life again today. Because we don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. We don't know if we'll be awake tomorrow. So we thank everything today. And those are the things that we need to get together with, such as when we do celebrate. There's protocols for when we do. We open up with the pipe. Thank our spiritualities for being here. And again, when we do these things, we don't only ask for that, we ask for good life so we can continue throughout the day and have that day, have our spiritualities, put everything in order for us like A, B, C, D, E, so nothing goes wrong. So that's why we do these things from the very beginning of the opening ceremony, such as what we're doing here. Smoke the pipe a little bit. I explained to you about our opening. And again, I already used the language right along with the pipe. And the next thing we're going to do is sing a pipe song. And those are the appropriate things that we do when we do have a opening, such as we open it up with a pipe. We open it up with a song. And after that, if you guys want to hear other songs, if you guys want to hear anything about these pictures, you know, a lot of it I see and comes from back in the 1940s, 50s, and a lot of it's from the Red Lake District. And again, that is one of our districts of our reservation in Red Lake, but then there's some things that are misinterpreted, like that. And due to the histories of the people who collect them, which is fine, but then again, we're here now, we can fix that, like that. We can share, like these posters up here, you know, I'm actually in that poster. But then again, it says a Red Lake drum group when we're from Panema. Like that. Little bitty things like that. But then again, that's fine. We represent all. Back in the day, we were never bordered up. Everything was shared. So again, we're back to the word we're coming together in both worlds. Sharing in both worlds. Same with song. Our songs have Anishinaabe words in there. And again, it comes to the point now today where we're at in this lifetime where we're having English words in there. So we try to be humble people as much as we can. We accept, such as the tobacco. The tobacco I used in this pipe was the commercial tobacco that we accepted into our circle. And what we had was what we call kanik, which we made by hand, and we use it as our sacred tobacco, which comes from the plants out there. It wasn't that big leaf of tobacco that we dried up and we put it in here. It's not like that. There could be different types of kanik. If you're just smoking for a celebration, or if you're smoking for a sickness, you can put some medicines out there in your kanik to help that person. By that, if it's a ceremony. But again, for powwow and all these other things that we're doing, we're celebrating. We're making ourselves happy. Even boys who sit around this drum, they feel as much as the dancers do. Because say we have these dances, you got a grass dancers here. A lot of times, nowadays today, remember I just talked about us sharing, combining our ways. Now we got dances where we do 4 steps this way, 4 steps this way. We're practicing. Doing the same thing. Spinning around twice, spinning back around twice. We're practicing. But you know what? In the spiritual way of dancing, you get out there and let your spirit go. You don't practice 4 steps that way, 4 that way, jump that way. You just let your body go, right along with the beat of the drum. That's why a lot of people don't know the difference between the spirituality part and how we're combining and accepting like that. They got to understand that. So there's a lot of things that combine in our way of circle. You see all these different colors. Like the men's traditional, they had that one bustle. They were either hunters or they're warriors. And again, for the way they danced, they're either looking for tracks or they found some. And that's a story in every dance. With that one bustle. You got the grass dancers representing the buffalo grass that used to be this high back in the day. And again, when they do that, all these yarns and everything is representing the grass fringes. So when you see them dancing, they're dancing like the grass blowing through the wind. Like that, no matter where they go. Like that. It's the wind and the combination of what's out there is what they gave us. That's our life. That's our domain out there. You know, a lot of people have churches that they go to, which is good. They pray. And that's the same thing we do. We go to our domain out there, and we pray. We offer. We ask for men of God to see in that good life. And those are the things that we do at powwows. And say if we're at a powwow, we'll have the jingle dress come in. A jingle dress, which you could see up there, that's a sacred dress to the Ojibwe people, the Anishinaabe people. It came to the biggest gift we have, the gift of dreaming. So again, if you look at these things, if you combine them, it's going to be confusing. Because in this world here, you get nightmares, you get all different off dreams. Here, we're gifted, and we got to know why. why we vision like that. Why did I dream like that? And again, when I talk about the gift of dreaming, there's a lot of people who are gifted in this world. They're born with that gift, but they gotta find it. And once they find it, they're fine. They can help anybody. And the way we are gifted through the Anishinaabe way of spirituality, it's for all. It's just not for me. Like that. That's a come with the thing that I was gifted with. I found my gift. I'm using it as I'm speaking to you. As I'm speaking to you, that's my gift to share with the knowledge that I have. That is all. You know, I'm not here to share, say, of this and that. I'm only the guy who carries what we have and what our children need and what our people need as an identity. Because there's a lot of our band members, there's a lot of our people who have lost that identity. You know, they'll say, hey, my name is Darrell Kingbird, but you know what, that's not really my identity. That's in this English world here. My identity is Ishkwayashik, and that's who I am. With my Indian name, my way of life around here, like that. I was never able to make it in this world here. I was never able to become a fireman, a carpenter, or anything like that. I found my gift, and I'm helping. I'm helping kids, I'm helping teens, I'm helping people who want to learn about themselves in that good way of Anishinaabe-ness. That's how we are. We're here to share. We're here to teach about our people. And that's one thing we always look for is respecting each other through all these nationalities of our people. So again, you know, there's a lot of times I meet up with people and say, hey, how do you say that again? Anishinaabe. Oh yeah, Anishinaabe. And that shows me that they just got a little bit of who we are. When they've been here for what, 40, 50 years? It's always good to know about your neighbor. It's always good to know about your people, even though they are different nationality. And it's always good to help them in that way of spirituality. And that's all we are as Anishinaabe people, as a spirited people. We're a spirituality that's going to exist in this world, in body world, and then in the next world, like that. And I'll still be, in the next world, I'll still be Ishkwayashik. I won't be Darrell Kingbird. Like that. That is how we are as Anishinaabe people. We carry it in a very strong way. And once we do that, we're going to live a long time. You know, through the histories of our people, some of our years went away because we had to accept and take some parts from this other world, which brought it from 120 years old down to 80 to 90. And that was the diets. We used to live off the land and be able to live 110 years old. We used to live off the land where there was no fat. But now we're eating all these other stuff without our wildlife. So we're not getting that, so we're getting more or less cholesterol, sugars, and like that, salts. So that kind of brought our people down in that area of 120 to 80. And now it's getting to 60, 70, like that. Those are the reals. But when it comes to teaching our young ones about who we are, it's our sacredness, it's our spirituality that they need to know. That's why my boys are here. And that's why I take them to powwows. I teach them songs. They say, sing this appropriate song. The boys know it. All the boys know it. So we're there in honor. And then again, say we went to a Dakota powwow. We as Anishinaabe people, we went to a Dakota powwow. Now you know what we gotta do? We gotta respect their ways. Right along with ours. We can't go do nothing out of the ordinary because they'll say, you know what, you can't do that. You're being disrespectful to our spiritual ways. So we learn about each other in that way. We learn about song. We learn about dances. Same way with pipe. We learn about their sun dance. They learn about our day lodges, teaching lodges, like that. And we did combine, we did accept in the Anishinaabe way of a sweat lodge. And they happen at powwows too. So all the people that come to our powwows, we share our celebrating ways with them. We share our sacred ways with them. And before they leave, we have a giveaway. And that giveaway is for everybody. No matter what nationality you're here, we thank you for being here in that good way of spirituality. Like that. That part of a lot of our powwow ways. And again, if you see these, a lot of people used to say, you know what, how come they have a headdress? How come they do these things? You know what, a lot of times in the Ojibwe way, in the Anishinaabe way of, each and every one of them feathers are very sacred to us. They're earned. They are earned. Say like this guy here, he earned all his feathers for being where he's at, for carrying and being that warrior. Each and every one of them feathers, he earned those. We just don't find a whole bunch say, put that on, you're gonna look cool. It's a spiritual thing. He earned it, now he's proud of it, and he's dancing with it. That's the same with the pipe. Comes through the gift of dreaming. Are you gifted through the gifts out there? Like that. All these things that we are given, it's a spiritual aspect. We have these eagle staffs, each and every one of them feathers carry life for our people. So I, as an advisor, I go to these powwows and I talk to these feathers. We offer to them, we feed them. Their spirituality is just like we feed our own body. And we go to the fire and we put food in there and tobacco right along there because our people are still here. Those are the things we do at powwows. But a lot of times it's more or less for the happiness, for the smiles, meeting new people, celebrating and dancing. Getting that dance out there, getting that life back into you. That Niimi'idiwan is in, like that. So there's a lot of things that I could go on about powwows and what we do. And what I wanted to do was, anybody got any questions yet? No, thank you. Anybody got questions in any way? Or should I just keep right on rolling and keep rolling? Okay. All right, so what we're going to do, later on, right now we're going to go to the pipe song. And again, like I was saying, you know, some of our singers that are here with us, this is their first time at the drum. And for me, that's a high honor. Like that, when I bring these guys to the drum. Because I'm digging out their spirituality. They're finding their spirituality. And they're going to get out of that way of, you know what? I'm not going to be afraid anymore. I was taught to be afraid. I was taught to hide. I was taught like that. And once they get used to doing this, they're going to come out strong. Boom. That strong warrior they were brought here to be. Like that. And they can do anything in both worlds. Like that. They'll be able to walk somewhere and go in somewhere where they were scared to before. They'll be able to, you know, they're sitting here in that way of spirituality. But once they learn, tomorrow they're going to say, you know what? I want to do that again. I want to go there again because this is what happened. And a lot of times they won't come and tell me, but then again they'll be talking to themselves. They're saying, you know what? That was awesome. It was a spiritual awakening. Because a lot of our new singers and a lot of singers that have taught have came to me and said that before. And I've been teaching drum songs for years. You know, I've taught a lot of people so far. So again, they show up places that are unexpectedly, like these two guys here. And I still do once in a while go to Reamer School, and they were just little guys at that time. Look at them, they're sitting with me at the drum now. So there is that spiritual awakening in that, how we do things, and how they hang on to that spirituality that they're being taught, and how important it is to be singing for the people. Because that's what I say, you sing for the people. You just don't sing for yourself, you do it for everybody. And that's what I was teaching. So there's a lot of things that we could share with, we can do things with, through our dances, our celebrations, and our way of life. We're going to share the pipe song. When we do the pipe, smoke the pipe, we go to all directions. And we say, Miigwech, or we're asking for what I said, Niimi'idiwan is in this way of. But what we're doing is we're offering our tobacco. And we always start to the east. To us Anishinaabe people, that's where life starts, each and every day. The sun comes up, it brings life. If it wasn't for the sun, we wouldn't be here today. It brings all these things that give us that good way of life. So that's the first person we offer our pipe to, is to the east. Jesus. And we thank him for what he brings. Then we go to the south. And we thank the south for what they bring to us and what they have, which is new life also. Our birds, our animals. The birds go down there and bring back new life. They bring back eggs, they share with us. They go to the west, and we thank them for bringing the thunders, the rains, and that. To wet Mother Earth, help her. We say thank you for that. Then we go to the north, and we share with our ancestors, our people that were here before in body, and that who are still here with us through this drum, through the fire of what we do. And that's to the north. We call it Kiwedino. That means going home. And that. So these certain places, such as what I talked about, Mother Earth, we always saying, "Gin get the band down Kinegego." She gave us and has everything for us. And we ask Mother Earth to do everything with all the stuff that she has for us, such as medicines. And we ask her for help. That's the same thing with the guy above. Get your money to above. We tell him the same thing. You're watching over everybody here. You're watching over Mother Earth. Give us that good way of life so we can go hand in hand with everybody. And everything. All the animals. And that. See, The way we are as Anishinaabe people, we're a spirited people. We even go hand in hand with so many animals, such as plant systems. And again, the bear, it's a great big piece for each and every one of us. It gives us that strength. It gives us that good medicine, like that. So there's a lot of things that we could discuss here. And again, it's not really a discussion, you're just looking at me. But anyways, think of questions that you want to ask, because I'm used to these kind of sessions. You know, I go to schools and I do the same thing to teachers, non-native teachers. But you know what? They're educators just as well as I am. They can ask questions. But every time we're done, 50 questions in the hall. And that's exactly what happens, because this is what I'm trying to show these guys. Not to be that person just to sit there and hold all this good stuff that you got to share. And that's why I say these guys are going to be up sharing all the knowledge that they have someday. Even though I'm standing up here and everyone's, boy, this guy's so knowledgeable, and I can just have a little bit of how much we really have. Like that. This is just a skimp off of our powwow. This is just a skimp off the pipe and the drum of what I'm telling you guys. And it's almost been an hour. Like that. So there's a lot of things that we can go and talk about, teach each and every one of our people here. And that's why I encourage our young ones, you know, to grasp a hold of this stuff. That we are to show each and everybody that we have that identity still. And there's a lot of places that don't have their identity, they're trying to be some other identity. Like that. We as Anishinaabe, we don't do that. We're pretending. So again, you see us somewhere, you know, you hear our language, we still got our language, we still got song, we got ceremony, we got a way of life still. And that's our identity. That's who we are as Anishinaabe people. And again, similarly in the books, it's close. But it's not as close as the language and the thoughts and the way we speak and the way we walk. Like that. Especially with everything, like I said, our domain is out there. That is our way of life. So, with that, you know, with the powwows and all these different things we do at powwows and honoring such as how we accepted and how we became who we are today. There's very few of us left. And, you know, they say our elders are leaving us. You know what? Nobody just doesn't bother the elder anymore. When our elders share, and they're good at it. And that's where I got all the knowledge that I carried, was from the elders. I try not to lie like he said. Don't lie up there. That's the way we are as Anishinaabe people. We tease each other like that. We make each other smile. And that's how we are as a spirited people. We want your spirit to rise in that way of happiness. So we tease each other in that joking way. Even though we haven't seen each other for years, we're right back to being that way of a Anishinaabe person. Humorous, friendly, and that high-spirited way of sharing. So, with that, I would like to thank our lady back here, and she was like, oh God.
Hi.
You did? Come on up.
Thanks.
Share this with me. And again, me and her just met today. You know, we were more or less in that media piece, texting each other, and then I come walking in, and she's over there looking at me like, who's this guy? I was lost. I was like, am I in the right place or not? What are you looking for? I was in the right place, and she comes up and she said, hey, you're, yeah. But anyways, this lady was one who made this event happen, and I would like to share the floor with you. And
Okay, well, thank you very much. My name is Emily, for those of you that I've not met. I'm the executive director here, I've been here for about a year. April 10th will be a year that I'm in. And our first exhibit is actually at the other end of the hall that I started with Women in Winter Sports. This one, to me though, has a different meaning. And the more that I learned and researched, and apparently didn't learn well enough in some cases, but the more that I learned, powwow to me is such a beautiful piece of culture. It's such a wonderful way to celebrate and to heal. And we were talking about education and how we carry education with us, and that it's not just what we learn from paper, right? I got a lot of paper. But it's also what we learn from our parents and our grandparents and our great-grandparents, and the beauty of their tradition and how traditions evolve through powwow is really amazing to me. The other thing that's interesting and not quite as fun is how the United States government decided that powwow and religion should not happen, right? And from 18, I have it up here somewhere, 1885-ish, all the way to 1978, folks. 1978 was when powwow became legal again. And that's sad. That's sad. And we've lost a lot of history and a lot of opportunities to learn and share and be better people, I think, and be a better community because of that. And so that's one of the reasons that we wanted to have and share this exhibit with you, is so that we can find ways to educate and share and begin building that community again in small ways. So I hope you take an opportunity to take a look at our panels. We have a handout that's over by the sign-in area, and also by the surveys, which I was specifically told that I needed to remind folks if you could dance and fill one of those out. I just want to also say thanks. This is a legacy program, so we received legacy funding to put this on, and the Niimi'idiwan Public Library has actually helped partner to ensure that we can not only pay people to provide this program for us, because it is important that we give money to people who are amazing at what they do. But we also, the public library is sponsoring additional programs. So we have Drum Circle program on Saturday, we have our Regalia program the following Saturday, and then we are actually talking about the interesting history of fry bread a few weeks after that. So a really great series, and I hope to see you often here for this and other programs that we will offer in the future. We also have with us today a special guest, if you have just a second. Justice Ann McKee goes with us today. She drove all the way up here for this, which is stunning to me. So if you give her a round of applause, and then
I was going to say Austin better be here, but he's here. Awanikwe Indigenous. My name is, my given name by my mother and father is Ann McKay. My Indian name is Awanikwe, which means mist woman. That was given to me actually just a few years ago, right before the pandemic. And it sort of goes to an example that Darrell was talking about, which is that we sort of lost a lot of that in our history and in our lives, because it wasn't something that came to me until I was an adult. And I will say that it was a very meaningful ceremony to me. It brought me back to a lot of my relatives, most importantly my dad, who is a White Earth member. I'm the first Native American justice on any Supreme Court in all of the United States, which happened to happen here in Minnesota. So it's pretty awesome. And it's really important that that you all come out and support events like this. I always say that as Indian people, we need allies. We need good allies to help us, continue to make sure that we survive as a community and as a people, and that we're not invisible, that we are here. I've got to watch Logan and Landon grow, and I thought that can't be Landon, because I saw Landon when they all came down to drum down the sun when it was the Super Bowl. And we had a lot of the Native kids came down, and they drummed along Nicollet Mall. And it was really meaningful to see many of the kids from the north part of the state come down and actually have a chance to celebrate. So I'm really grateful to Emily. And Emily is stuck with my mother, Cecilia McKay, who, she's white, but we love her anyway. My dad was the Indian side of the family. Actually, that's not appropriate. she has done, I think, has always been really supportive of the kids. And she gave them the shoulder to cry on, and when they needed a ride home, she gave them the ride home. When they needed something else, she was the one that they went to, and it's always interesting because what I say about you being here tonight is you don't even know sometimes the impact that you're going to have. And my brothers and I have 4 brothers. They're mediocre. They're not that great. I am by far the best one in the family. The only girl in the middle. But we always joke about how whenever we go somewhere, everyone will come up to us and they'll say, hey, how's your mom? And I'll be like, oh, she's good. And they're like, oh, you don't know what a difference your mom made for me. And that's, I don't say things to her nicely when we're by ourselves. I do it publicly, and then I figure that's good enough, and I don't want to talk about it later. I said it. But that she's really been helpful to a lot of people, and that's really meaningful to me. And it's another way that she has been an ally to the community. So you have ways that you can be an ally too, and one of them is actually being here tonight. So Chumigwich to all of you, and I think you're doing a great job, Darrell.
Thank you.
And I'm glad Austin's here, because Austin Needham, who's making his home here in Bemidji, and I would like to report, has a lot of complaints about Bemidji. Just go on his Facebook page and you'll see all those complaints, like the restaurants aren't open for brunch and he can't find his good meal. Anyway, Austin is, he's a Red Laker, right? And he was a judge up at Red Lake, tribal court judge for many years. He's one of our future bright stars as a native graduate of law school. And so he's going to bring big things to Indian country up north. So I'm glad that Austin's here. Otherwise, I would have really harassed him. So, bewitched.
Thank you for being here, and you're welcome to close us out as you'd like.
Okay. Again, just to add a little more on our little ceremony here, the closing ceremony, what we wanted to do was, well, we weren't really sure what we wanted to do. But anyways, we were going to say you guys can run through and look at all these artifacts like that there. But, if she's saying let's do a closing ceremony, we can do that with the drum, and then you guys can go into the building and do whatever like there. So, again, what we're going to be, like I was talking about with the pipe song. We have different songs for different occasions. We just did the pipe song. And now we do a traveling song, like that. And when we do this is one of the songs that we do after the powwow's over for everybody. So when we're singing this song, it's not only for the native people, it's for each and every one of the non-natives that are here also. Like that. We don't disinclude anybody in our way of spirituality. We take care of everyone. Like that. We try to. And we try to do the best we can. And that's how these songs come out. Like I was saying with the pipe, it was through the song, it talked from the pipe saying we're offering our pipe stand to each and every one of these spiritualities up there. That's what it's in that song. Now this song here that we use, that traveling song, this one will take care of us as we leave here. The spiritualities of this song will keep right on riding with us till we get home, or however you guys want to look at it for the rest of our lives. Like that. Because we as Anishinaabe, we care about each other so much that we even dream of song. Back in the day, remember I said, the biggest gift was the gift of dream. We weren't going to make ourselves to be what we are. We get it from here through the gift of dream. Like that. In this world here, it's the same way. We go to the educated places, buildings, and become attorneys, lawyers. In this world here, we dream to help our people. Medicine men, name givers, pipe carriers, drum keepers, like that. All these things that are in that same world over here for our people. But in this one here, it's more or less in that way of spirituality. Say I'm a pipe carrier, I'm a drum keeper. Look at my singers. If I wasn't, I wouldn't have any. I wouldn't have singers. Like that. So again, I'm a pipe carrier, I got song. And that was through the gift of dream and through the teachings of our elders. So a lot of these things that we carry and this spirited way of Anishinaabe, Red Lake, Red Bee, Panema. And Panema, again, we still got that old way of life. And what I see is that they're calling you, oh, you're from Obashing, Panema Obashing. You know what? We had 7 names in our community. Wanakwe, Abita, like that. Ogakane, all the way to Makwambe, Migadazibi, like that. It wasn't in English, just one great big place, Obashi. We had little places in communities, which were only about a mile long, maybe 2. And our community was that way. Certain families stayed in there. But we always communicated in this drum ceremony way. Each and every spring, we'd go to our elders' homes, who are veterans. They would hang their flags. We would take our drum there, they would sing 4 veteran songs for them. Like that. Our elders, if they weren't there, they couldn't make it, and we would take our drum and go over there and sing in their yard. That would bring them up. They'd be dancing on their porch. Like that. That's what we do as Anishinaabe people. We go and make sure our elders are okay. We make sure our people are okay. And we make sure our younger ones are learning the traditional aspects of who we are, such as our identity. So keep that in mind. You know, there's a lot of teachings out there that you people could learn, which you're actually here for to learn about the way we are as Anishinaabe people in this powwow world. But there's more to it. But there's more to it than just singing and dancing. It's a way of life. It's an identity to who we are. And the language speaks for itself. And a lot of people say, you know what, that's the hardest language to learn. You guys got words about this big. But you know what? That's what we were gifted. To sound like that, to use that way of life for our people, for our young ones here, and for this way of drum. Like that. So with that, I'm going to end with a traveling song. And this traveling song, the words are Gin Gusha Anisha Wenjibe Moseyan. And in English that means I'm the reason why you're walking. Like that. And that's what that song was brought to us by an elder from Canada, from Kenora, Canada. He had that vision of this song, and that song came from the drum. I'm the reason why you're walking. Like that. Miigwech.